Welcome to your first tournament results for Duelist Advance. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more on this content. So we have your top 16 and top 8 breakdown for you here. We'll have the rest of top 32 this afternoon that you guys will be able to get a chance to dive into and see what else was coming around out here. Now, top 16 from the Kongs event, we had 6 Mitsurugi variants, which does feel kind of like a lot, but I appreciate the fact that, you know, Mitsu was still combating out here. Now, we also had 3 Vanquish Soul variants in our top cut. You're actually playing Vanquish Soul pre-Canine support? That was not something I expected to see. We also had 2 Malice variants. Yeah, Malice is still doing well here. We also have a Lunalight deck that managed to make its way through Top Cut, which was really, really awesome. We also had Crystron action. We had Memento, Evil Twins, and even the Unbridled Power of Blue Eyes White Dragon is still sitting here doing its thing. That's actually really, really awesome. Now we shift on into top 8. Now, Mitsu has lost half of its competitors here. You had 3 Mitsurugi variants doing what they were typically supposed to be doing, which is taking down the meta. We have Lunalights, which Lunalights actually ended up winning this event. Players just were not really prepared, I feel like, for the things that this deck was capable of doing and the insane combo lines that it felt like it could go down. We also had a Crystron duelist smashing through this top cut, which I was pretty unexpected to see Crystron actually even doing anything. But that deck really took me by surprise here. We also had our Memento Challenger grinding it out really, really well for this event. I do appreciate the fact that that deck was very, very strong. We also did have 1 Malice competitor in top cut, and we also had a Vanquish Soul in our top 8 as well. So the Vanquish Soul threat was very, very real, but I mean, your top 8 and top 16 look very, very nice and good for a diverse meta. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. Starting things off here, we have our winning Lunalight list here. And the fact that, you know, you do see the gold Leos coming into action here. Dominus Impulse being probably one of the most defining points of this deck's existence, I think, this weekend, being able to choke point out the opponent. You also do see we are side decking a heavy polymerization down here as well. Heavy poly definitely is thrustable. It gives you so many good options. And of course, we are doing the Featherstorm off of the Castel. Yup. Next up here, we have your Crystron action. You know, in terms of what you're kind of expecting Crystron's evolution to look like, I mean, it's not really crazy. I mean, there's no Canine cards. You're going with the Horror stuff in here. And they've chosen to play Dumatef instead of Hoppy. Getting that value is really good. I also see the XL Synchron in here. And I see that we have the Liger Dancer with the Ghost Reaper down here to be able to kind of get some of those punishing effects. Ghost Reaper definitely getting some playtime out here, which is very, very nice. Next up here, Memento. Honestly, the Memento Fiendsmith deck was not something that I expected to see grinding out of this top cut, but it did a pretty good, strong job at it. Only going with the 2 copies of the Memento Fusion is fine. I see we do have the Tact Talents down here just to kind of be able to help out. And, of course, the Area Leader and the Baphomet. Both are going to be some very strong cards just to make sure that, you know, we can put that pressure on the opponent and do our job. Next up here. Oh boy, here we go. We have our Malice deck. Malice did manage to make its way all the way up into top 4, which I think is a pretty cool indicator of some things here. You do see the 2 Perulays and the triple Fuwas in the main deck. You do see that we have the I Meet You in the side deck. Definitely going to be a big help out here to, you know, help you along the way. And I see we have the Mistaken Arrest as well. I mean, you get this card flipped up, but also Solemn Judgment was pretty MVP here. All right, moving on along, we have the Dododo Mitsurugi deck. And, you know, we got some cool hang time with this. I also do see that we are side decking the Xyz Unbreakable Barrier down here. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated and you control an Xyz monster, you negate that activation. Then you can detach 2 materials from a monster, destroy 1 card on the field. This card is very, very strong for this deck. A little bit more than I feel like people want. But this is definitely one of the cool new variants that we can mess around with. And we are actually even playing the Utopic Futures Excellent here as well. Alright, this is our Mitsurugi Sky Striker deck. Now, I love the fact that this pile is attempting to use the engage into the Hornet drones to, you know, you want to be able to also see the ray here. If you're able to get to the ray, you can get into the 0 to split apart which can get you into the King of the Feral Imps, which kind of allows you the chance to play the game, which is crazy because Sky Striker now bridges the gap for you to be able to combo up down other lines. What? Next up here, we have some Vanquish Soul action for you. I do see that Vanquish Soul is side decking its Dust Devil. You also see Pot of Extravagance in here as well. This deck needs to be able to kind of get into draw cards. I mean, you do care about your extra deck, but I mean, you got Triple Rock. As long as you're able to get those key pieces set up, and you know, you can turbo through and do what you need to do, I don't see why this deck looks like a bad choice whatsoever. You're able to do everything you need. Also, hello, Shifter. Next up here, we have the Pile. Yeah, this is Mitsurugi, Rizel, Fiendsmith. The fact that you're able to bring all of these engines together and be able to actually make this work out for you is really good. Also, the Duke of Demise down here being one of those stupidly powerful cards to just assist you in what you're doing. It's really, really good. Also, I see great purification in the side deck as well. So that's the end of your top 8. Now we dip on in to your top 16 here. Starting things off, we have a Mitsu variant with Rizel. Definitely the things that we were expecting to be seeing with this. I also do see we've already got the Vidos in play here. You know, I didn't expect to see this popping up until we started to see more action from, you know, some of the other decks, but okay. I mean, hey man, Vidos being able to wipe out that field spell and, you know, giving you a chance to actually set up and play the game feels really, really good. Also, hello, Harpies, Featherstorm. Another day in the office. Next up here, more Malice action for you. I do see we have the Detonator down here so that, you know, we can board into the Metaltronius and clean up. Honestly, even at this stage, Detonator's still a little bit of a pain in the butt, and you are seeing more players start to see the shift around out here to have to clean up these problem cards. I don't think that they're necessarily bad, but that's just, you know, having access to clean up points out here, I think is going to be very, very important. We've also got Kurikara. Let me tell you, man, Kurikara in Vanquish Soul is just such a cleanup card. All right, like this card alone, if your opponent's done everything, you just board wipe your opponent, set up the incredibly large power monster, and you're able to go. Also do see Pot of Extravagance already loading up out here, doing its job. But I mean, once again, this is the current form of this deck, and it's kind of a monster, actually. Next up here, we have more Vanquish Soul. All right, I mean, all the Vanquish Soul variants today, I feel like, agreed that they were going to just toss in the Pot of Extravagances, and we're just going to roll with it. You know, as long as we can get into the cards that we need, you are going to be good to go. I mean, one Kurikara in the main, two Kurikaras in the side. You know, you have the Shifter down here in the side deck, and you do see the Paradise Smasher already coming into play as an absolute monster. That's amazing. Next up here, we have Evil Twin. I'm actually very, very shocked to see that this deck did as well as it did, but I guess, honestly, the fact that Evil Twin is still very much a good contender out here and is able to kind of, you know, set up the initial boards that it does. Also, you know, it's called what it is. I mean, a Desiree being able to do a full blanket negate, you know, for as many materials as this stupid thing gets feels really good. And also, Agamonde is really good at cleaning out games. So, you know, all jokes aside, looks pretty good. Next up here, we have Blue Eyes White Dragon, and there's the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. You know, I've been reading a lot of conflicting opinions about Jet Dragon. A lot of people are like, you need to play the Jet Dragon. The card is so incredibly powerful. Yeah, it is, but I don't know. You're already playing 46 cards. I feel like you're bulking down on this deck. Maybe not in the best ways possible, but, you know, being able to have access to this, going with the two Tyrant Dragons in here, you know, being able to hard make one off of Ultimate Fusion is pretty strong. Next up here, we have more Mitsu variants. This build's actually going with the triple pre-prep action in here. We do see Wozu actually seeing play because, you know, we're the pure variant here. You know, you're going to be comboing through and doing, you know, all the good stuff that you kind of expect. I do see that we have access to Deltas in here doing its job, and also great purification, cleanup, aisle 9. Yep, this deck absolutely is probably one of the most annoying things we've got going on in the course of the meta right now. And our last list is good old Mitsu Rizel, man. You know, calling up old Reliable out here, getting the job done, being able to, you know, just control the opponent. All of this is by far probably one of the safest bets that I feel like players could have. Still side decking this, going with the triple Solemn Strike to be able to clean up the opponent. Yeah, I mean, this looks good. Also, 7 Tachyons to bridge the gap to be able to get where you need to be. Seems really, really good. So what do you guys think about your top cut here? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.